Masters and Gods. A very good evening to you all. Mahavatar TV warmly welcomes you to the 21 days free holistic wellness program, batch 25 dated. So before commencing the session, I would like to say pranams to you all, our Guruji Ranganath sir, our Grandmaster Maharshi Patriji, our Great Grandmaster Mahavatar Babaji, and to all the great Grandmasters and to the universe. So today it is indeed a moment of immense joy and honor to welcome our esteemed speaker Anupam Madam once again to Mahavatar Foundation. So who will take us to the journey of the most profound spiritual classics of all time, Autobiography of Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. So the Madam today carries out not just the knowledge of these teachings, but also the passion to inspire us and uplift us through them. So with a great respect and anticipation, so we warmly welcome you, Madam, to enlighten us with the insights from Autobiography of Yogi. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My pronouns to everybody, all the masters who are here joining us on Zoom and on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for uh, giving me this opportunity to be here and to share this wonderful wisdom from the Guru, our Divine Master, Yogananji. So, Masters, I'm really, really happy to see you once again here, and it's just a pleasure. Thank you. So, before we start, let us have a brief meditation. We'll just connect ourselves to the every word, divine word in this book, and to the book's energy, our divine masters. So, I just request all of you to take your asana, any which you prefer. If you are sitting on the floor, then you can just fold your legs. You can fold your legs like this, and if you're if you are sitting on the chair, you can sit with folded legs in any of the asana which you prefer to be, and it is comfortable with you. If your legs are hanging down, cross your legs with ankle over ankle. And so let's really connect to this energy today. Energies are very, very high this month. Please keep water with you. Anybody who's wearing specs or glasses, you can just put them down. Clasp your fingers and put your palms up. Gently put your hands with clasped hands on your lap. And let us gently close our eyes, calling all the astral masters who are there, looking forward for this divine knowledge, who are here to help us, to take us, to take this divine knowledge in our lives. We welcome all the astral masters, Tama Patriji, Mahavatar Babaji, Ladi Mashaji, Swami Shiv Teshwarji, Gurudev Paramahansa Yogananji. And we can feel the love from them, the wisdom flowing from them, the Christ-like values which are flowing from them, the forgiveness, the love. And as we call upon them, we call Krishna, who has been guiding us through his divine knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Yogananji has a profound respect for Bhagavad Gita, and he always says everybody should read Bhagavad Gita too. It is a path that we all must tread with all this Divine Mother, Divine Father. Connect to their energies, to the aura, to each one of them, with each one of them. And our higher self, we call upon our higher self, our astral masters, intergalactic federation, cosmic governance, Shambhala masters, all the masters around us in any form. all of you. Just feel this energy within you. Feel the energy of the Divine Father, Divine Mother, flowing astrally within us, to us, through the medulla, into our spine. Heavenly Father, may thy love shine forever into the sanctuary of life, and may thy love, may we all be able to awaken thy love in all hearts. Connect to all the saints, the rishis, all those who have proven the spiritual learnings, the wisdom through their practice and showed us the path. We bow to them. Let us be in silence for 2 minutes and connect to the energy of the book Autobiography of You. Connecting to the divine order of the Guruji, Paramahansa Yogananji, who has awakened so many hearts with divine love and light. Observe your breath, and through breath we connect to all the masters. Observe how we inhale, how we exhale. As the breath comes in through our nostril, it passes through the throat, lungs, heart, and liver, and deep to the navel, which is the energy center, just as the core of the earth, center of the earth, with profound energy. And everything that we do not want, as this again our breath rises up with a fire in which it burns everything that we do not need. Unwanted thoughts, unwanted desires, unwanted emotions that we are holding. Everything is burning through, and we are becoming lighter, lighter, and lighter. And as it comes up, it again comes through the heart, the lungs, passes through the nostril. And every time it happens this cycle, we become much lighter as we observe our breath. Wherever our mind goes, energy flows. And as we put our mind to our breath, the energy flows in every cell of our body, every part becomes more elated with divine love and light. Every cell sparkles. As again the new breath enters the nostril, full loaded with cosmic energy, prana urja. The prana flows from our nostril to every cell of our body, every part of our body, healing us with divine love and light, making us stronger, calmer, peaceful. And again it rises up, taking all the unwanted with us. And as it rises, deepest gratitude from our heart also flows to the divine the Divine Mother, the Parampita Parmeshwar, Jagannatha. Feel, feel this energy flowing in every cell of your body. We attune ourselves to the yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda, as he teaches us through his life the spiritual path. Let us tread our spiritual journey along with him, knowing ourselves better, knowing everything that is happening in our life better and deeper. Slowly we'll come out. Shake your legs gently, open your palms, fingers. Bring your hands in Namaskar Mudra. Put your palms on your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And take this energy to your face, to your heart, to any part of your body which needs more energy. And gently keeping your palms back, gently open your eyes into it with deep gratitude and curiosity to know more. Aligning ourselves to all the Gurus, Param Guru Mandli. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Masters, today another thing. Today is very wonderful. Today is the 10th chapter we are going to do, and here Yogananji. Till now we have the previous sessions we understood how much anxious, how much curiosity was there in Paramahansa Yogananji from his childhood to meet his guru. So normally what happens is everybody wants, I want moksha, I want a moksha, I want, but he had this anxiety. He was very anxious to meet his guru. He just wanted to meet his guru. So he came to Himalayas. He was trying to go to Himalayas just to meet his guru, not that he will attain moksha. And like many others, but Paramahansa Yogananji always was seeking his guru, always was seeking his guru. And he did not accept, so many other saints came in his life. He learned so much from many other saints, from every saint he met, every person he met on his way. He learned something or the other, and it was as if, the pages, it is like, how the onion is, you keep on peeling, 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 and then, reach the center, the core. So same thing was happening in Yogananda's life. Guruji's life, where he was, he was meeting so many different people from different paths, and yet he was not agreeing to accept any other than who is coming in his dream, other than whose image was there, as if the intuition was there that this is the only person who's going to be my guru, and he's yet to meet his guru. So after meeting so many saints, he is still waiting to meet his guru. So today we are going to see what happens today. So now what happened is, now he's, as we have discussed earlier, he is in teens, Yogananji. When he's at this chapter, when he's mentioning this, he was around 15, 16 years old boy and very young. So his father had taken a vow from him that he will finish his high school and then only he can go to any, be it Himalayas or be it Haridwar or anywhere else. And now he has reached high school. He says that my promise to his father had been that I would complete my high school studies. I cannot pretend to diligence. He says that I will not, I have to complete high school. And he has to pass in all the subjects he has to pass. So he was never wanting to go to this class, go and attend classes in his school where he was given the admission. because he never felt that whatever is being taught in the schools will make any sense. And therefore he said that whatever their teachers are teaching in the school, it's not going to help me. It's not going to be something which is meaningful for me. And therefore he never used to go to the school. So he says that there were passing months were passing. He was in high school now, class 10th. He had come, and he was all his class teachers, everybody, never used to find him in the class. So he would be spotted in the Calcutta bathing ghats rather than in the classroom. He will be near the bathing ghats of the Calcutta, where his college was. So he said that or he will be in the crematorium grounds, wherever, in the nights he used to go, because he was a person who was with a seeking mind. He always wanted to experiment, like how we have seen many spiritual masters. Patriji also says, be the spiritual scientist. And he was, in true meaning, he was a spiritual scientist. So in the nights, morning, he will be near the Calcutta bathing ghats and meditating there, connecting himself to the um, five tattvas, especially to the Ganges there. So he said in the night he used to be at the crematory grounds, and especially very very gruesome night where, in the cold winter time also he used to be there. He said that he would also find the deathless essence must not be dismayed by a few adorned skulls. He says that why somebody has to fear death with those skulls around. No, we should not. So he had become fearless over a period. He used to just go and meditate in these places. He says that my midnight vigils were thus of different nature from the scholars. Other the scholars will be like, they will be talking about big, big things or something, but he used to talk about all these normal things, about the crematory grounds, about how his experience has been there, meditating around with these girls around and daytime near the bathing ghats. So he says, with all this journey was going on, inside he was thinking how he completes high school and how he's able to, go out from his home where he wants to go to, whether it is Himalayas or Banaras or be it Vrindavan or wherever his mind was seeking. Just he was seeking his guru. He was seeking spirituality in his life, and rather than education, rather than being somebody like his father, in a government service. If he would have wanted, he would have become one, as one of his fathers. But he did not want to go in government service or to pass school with flying colors. He could have done that, but he did not want. He always wanted spirituality in his life. So he says, as he had reached with all this doing, he reached the final examination time, when it was a week when the final examination was just approaching. And that time, he says that this was the time where he was going within integrative period was going inside him, and he was um, very gloomy time. That it was like a terror in his mind that okay, he has to give exams now. And that time, his mind was never at peace because he had not studied. He said that I have been into crematoriums, I have been into so many like those places, but I was never having fear. But now, with the name of examination, he was really having terror in his mind, and he was thinking how he will write the examination and how he will be able to pass, because that was the only thing he wanted to do because of his vow with his father. So he says that unlike Prabhanandana, Swami Pranabnanda, whom he had met, who had he can just appear in two places. We had discussed that chapter earlier. So in that, it was that Swami Prabhananda, he can be in two places at the same time. He can appear in two bodies at the same time. So he says, I wish I could have that. I wish, now his mind was like, I wish I could have that time. So he says that with that educational dilemma in his mind, he was reasoning himself, and that very illogical reasoning was happening, that what will happen now, how we will be able to pass. So all of a sudden, the divine plan, we should believe in the divine plan. That is what Yogananji is trying to teach us through this particular writing of this chapter. He says that during that time when he was going through so much, and yet he was a great meditator, he had become at this age also. He used to just fearless he had become, but now he was seeking divine mother, and he was seeking his guru in his life. And at that time what happened, his one of the friend, Mukund, calls him Mukunda was his name, before he became he was initiated in this Guru Parampara. So Mukunda, his classmate was there, and his name was Nantu. So Nantu calls him, and he says that I hardly have a glimpse of you these days in the class. A classmate associated me. He was one of the classmate who was in Garpar Road College with him. So this Nantu, he himself, voluntarily comes to Mukunda, the Yogananji, young Yogananji, and he says that I have not seen you in class, and the exams are coming. And Nantu was very, very brilliant student. He was very good at studies, very, very sincere. So he's laughing that I have not seen you. He says that you are utterly unprepared for finals. He tells Mukunda Yogananji that you are utterly unprepared for the finals. I am supposed to. It is me who is supposed to help you. And if I won't help you, you will not pass. So he voluntarily comes and offers this help to Mukunda Yogananji, and he says the simple word was like, as if he has conveyed divine promise into my ears. Yogananji is saying that as if a divine promise has been conveyed, divine has sent him. It is like that. It was appearing to him in his ears as if Nantu has been sent by divine to him. And it is a divine promise that don't worry, we are there. Divine masters are telling, don't worry, we are always there, kind of. He's hearing in his ears. So now when Nantu told him this, that okay, I will help you. Without my help you will not do. So every day he started, Mukunda, young Yogananji, he started visiting his friend Nantu's home, and Nantu used to be he used to outline whatever, because he was a very brilliant student. So he knew some of the solution, what can come in the examination. His intuition was there. So all that outline solution he used to give to Yogananji for each and every subject. And he used to say that these questions, what I am telling you, these are others will be looking forward for it from me. These are the examination traps, and remember all the answers I have told you, so that you can pass, so that you will escape without injury. Means you will not fail. So Mukunda, seriously, whatever has been told to him, since he is a meditator, Mukunda, he was able to grasp very fast, Yogananji, young Yogananji. So he was, whatever he is being taught by Nantu, fast he was grasping everything. So night, and this was something that was, he was praying also, meditating also. So he says, all my subjects were ready. Nantu had coached me for all various subjects except for Sanskrit. Sanskrit was something he forgot. Nantu forgot to teach Mukunda. And he says that I reminded. So night, that night when Mukunda, Yogananji remembered that, okay, I have not prepared for Sanskrit now. So he reminded God that, you have to send Nantu to teach me all the subjects, but the Sanskrit is left and you have oversighted. He's telling God that you have oversighted this and you have not remembered to teach Sanskrit to me. So what happens is morning, because he was in divine conversation all the time, he was in divine conversation. So he morning when he was going out for a walk, he was he was very jolly kind of a person, swinging his legs side and going from one side of the road to the another side, and just uh, enjoying his short walk, and all of a sudden he sees that there was some weed was kept in the corner side of the road, and he sees some loose papers, printed sheets which has been fallen there, and his eye catches those papers, printed sheets. So when he goes then picks those papers, they were Sanskrit words. They were verses from the Sanskrit. So when he picks them up, he goes to one of the pundits, one of the priests around, and tells the priest to help him to understand those Sanskrit verses which has been written in these printed sheets, and takes the help from that pandit for the interpretation. So when the Pandit started reciting it, then he says that the voice of was filled, the air was filled with that, as if the verses were ringing bells in the air. It was like that. So he says that these stanzas which are there in the Sanskrit may not be, these are exceptions, and how these will be coming in. He didn't even know what is the syllabus in the Sanskrit, what is it there. And when he picked up those sheets, he just was prepared with those verses. Whether they were part of the syllabus or not, that also he did not know. So he says that familiarity was there, that a particular poem enabled me the following day to pass a Sanskrit examination. And divine plan, you can say, or divine, it was his luck that those verses came in the examination, same verses came in the examination, and he was able to remember how that pandit had helped him to, that priest had helped him to understand each and every verse which was there on those crumbled papers. So, with Nantu's help and Divine's help, he was able to pass all the examination. He got the passing mark in all. He just, passed in high school. And then he was very, very happy that at least he has passed the high school as he had promised his father. He had deep gratitude to Nantu, who helped him to prepare for the examinations. So he says that, I came across the discarded book whose author had denied God precedence in the examination hall. I could not restrain a chuckle at my own silent comment. Says that I didn't even know, that what is going to come. It would have only add to his fellow confusion if I were to tell him that divine meditation among the cadavers in shortcut to the high school diploma. He says if I would tell somebody that, meditation helped me, nobody will understand. It will create confusion in their mind. But it was truly for me, it was meditation who helped me to pass. It was a shortcut to the high school diploma I got because of the meditation. And nobody else except for who is a meditator, can understand that he was selling. So even if he would tell Nantu that, it was a divine plan, he will also not understand, though he has been so helpful. But he was sent by God. He was angel at that time, kind of into the divine plan. So he says that when he goes home together with his friend Jitendra, one friend was there, Jitendra Majumdar, who was a very young friend, and they have been friends from the college. So he says that they decide that they want to go to a Mahamandal hermitage in Banaras. After he passed high school, so both of them, both Jitendra and Mukunda, young Yogananji, decides that they will go to Mahamandal hermitage, which was kind of famous that time in Banaras, and receive its spiritual discipline because their mind was toward the spirituality. So they feel that now we are done with the high school, let's go to the hermitage in the Banaras and receive the spiritual discipline. So both of them decides like that. And then since his mother's death, we know that okay, Yogananda's mother passed away, and how he felt aloof after his mother's death. He says, my affection had grown especially tender for my two young brothers. So he was, though he wanted to go towards the spiritual path, we also have that, right? Lot many times there will be times, for example, if there is any we have to go for 2 or 3 days for a spiritual tour, somebody or somewhere, we will have to leave our family members if they are not practicing meditation with us. So we go through so much now that, okay, we have to leave our children at home, or we have some elders whom we are taking care for 2 3 days. It is very difficult to decide that if we can go there. Same thing was happening in Yogananda's mind, though they wanted to, they both the friends decided they want to go to Banaras. But they also felt the thought of separation from their family was also going on. Yogananda was feeling that how he will leave his young two brothers with whom they had become very, he had two younger brothers, Sananda and Vishnu, their names were Sananda and Vishnu. So they two brothers, he was very, very affectionate towards both of these, and he felt how he can leave his two young brothers out. Now mother is also not there. But he says, I rushed to my retreat, the little attic, where in his home there was a little attic. We had studied earlier also in this one of the sessions before. So there was a balcony, the attic, where he used to sit and meditate. So because he was going through so much, one side he wanted to go for this hermitage, and one side he was not able to leave his two brothers, he went and sat for meditation and started doing sadhana. And his tears were flowing, flowing for 2.5 hours like that. He was also in tears. But after some time, as he meditated, he felt completely, as if he's prepared by the divine. He has a resolution which has come from the God, and he was like a green light now, which he felt that, I'm strong enough now, I can go. And he completed his travel plans together, and he went to his father and took his blessings, his father's blessing, that now I have passed my high school, I want to go to the hermitage. So his father did not say anything because he had promised that once you pass high school, you can go. But father says that do not forsake me and your grieving brothers and sisters. Do not forget us. Do not forsake us. So he says that, how can I, Mukunda says, how can I tell that how much I love you? But as much I love you, I also love the Heavenly Father and he says, I love that Heavenly Father also, and who has given me the gift of a perfect Father on the earth. So he said that a Heavenly Father whom I love has given me the perfect Father on this earth. You are the perfect Father. So now let me go, and I will return someday. I will return with more divine understanding. So let me go and have that divine understanding. He requests his father for the blessings. So his father gives the consent, and both Jitendra, his friend, and them go to the hermitage. They go to go to Benares and reaches the hermitage, where there was Swami Dayananda, who was the head of that place. His name was Swami Dayananda, and he had many disciples living in that hermitage. So these two boys also reaches there, and they were like how all the other disciples were doing some or the other work, some or the other errands. They were also expected, both of them, to do the work at the hermitage, be it something, cleaning work, kitchen work, market work, different work, they were also expected. So he says that, but the only thing, when he reaches there, he sees that there are, like his home, there was also one attic, a balcony kind of a thing, where he was able. So he says that now I can manage to spend my dawn and morning hours meditating. And so he was very pleased to reach there, and very, very pleased to have this attic, similarly like how it was at his home. So he says the ashram members did not know much about the meditation practice. They were very, very, very less, they were aware about the meditation practices. So Swami Dayananda may be teaching many other things, but meditation practice was not known, very familiar to the other disciples who were there. He says that whole time they were employed in some organization duties, the whatever the organization was there of Swami Dayanandji. So they used to perform some or the other duties, somebody taking care of, the ashram responsibilities, registration, other things, somebody office work, somebody kitchen work, somebody other, depending on their interest and capabilities. So he says they gave me praise for my afternoon work in their office. So Yogananda ji, he started working in the office in the afternoon, and he also tried to spend some time to reach God and sit and meditate. But because it happens with us, so once we start meditating, we won't know about the time. No? So he said that mm, this Dayanand, Swami Dayanand used to love him. He used to really feel very nice to see Mukunda. And he says that you do your work, but there were other disciples, they were not very happy because they used to work and he used to meditate. He will keep meditating for morning and evening while others were working. So somewhere that atmosphere became strange, very, very, difficult for him. So he says that, but he stayed in the ashram because he had a spiritual seeking mind, and uh, his father, Dayanandji, he was seeing that Mukunda's father, Yogananji's father, is sending him money regularly. So he advises young Mukunda that I have seen your father sending you regularly money. Please return it. You are none here. You are nobody. You don't need that money. You're getting food here. You're getting a shelter here. Why do you need money? So return that money. So this was the first time somebody told him. So now what we are seeing is that in every place, whether it is difficult, had been a hard journey for him, wherever, but he learned something. Here also, Dayanandji is teaching him that even when you feel hunger, you don't never mention it. So he said, return the money which you're getting from your father. And also, if you ever feel hungry, don't mention it. That are the two things Dayanandji uh, told Mukunda, and which he remembered from that hermitage. And when after, there was a testing time when one of the days, Mukunda decided to fast for 24 hours, and Dayanandji was out of station. There were a lot of delicacies were made in that kitchen, and he was helping. So the kitchen was smelling so good, and he was famished because, you know 24 hours had been without food, and this was the first time for him. In his home, 9 o'clock, heavy brunch he's used to, and here when he comes, it used to be from brunch, no more brunch anymore. It was directly 12 o'clock. They will get something to eat in Hermitage. So he says that now he was looking forward to have some food, but Dayanandji was not there. He was out of station. And when he says ask for food, they says nobody will get food until Dayanandji comes. And he arrives and he has food. Nobody will get anything. But unfortunately, he was tested about Dayanandji's word that even if you are hungry, do not mention to anybody. So that day, the energy's train becomes late. So like that, he was now he's not saying anything. The aroma is rising. Is calling his appetite more and more. So when Dayanandji comes, he is looking forward that okay, after the train also came, he is looking forward now at least he will have food, so we can all get food. But he says no. Dayanandji says no, I don't want to. I will take a bath first and then I will meditate. Let me bathe and then meditate and then we can serve food. So now again, Jitendra keeps on telling that, this is what Jitendra was the communicator, whatever Dayanandji was telling. So every time he was looking as if he was the devil, not telling the right thing, but all the negative things. But finally, he overcomes and he understands that whatever Dayanandji had taught him, it is the testing time that, okay, whether he is able to stay hungry, whether he is able to stay, without telling anybody about his hunger and without, using his father's money, or if then he started returning father's money, never used to take after Swamiji had told him. So he says that all this time, whatever he was staying in the hermitage, these were the two things which he had learned. And stayed in his mind. So one day Swamiji again tells in the hermitage that I will, I'm famished. So he says that I will die, I will starve to death. So Swamiji says, then die. This is so when he says die, then Swami Dayanandji tells him, die if you think that because of food you will die, then die. And die if you must do, Mukunda. Never admit that you live by the power of food, he says. And this, this teaching, he today also when we are in Yoga Satsang Society or SRF in US, we find that this has been taught to each and every person who is his disciple. Where Yogananji, from that hermitage, what he has learned, he still teaches, that has been taught now also, that never admit that you live by the power of food and not by the power of God. We should all believe that power of God is there. It's not power of food that make us give energy. It is the power of God that gives us energy. The nourishment is from the power of God, not from the power of food. So normally everybody's mind will go towards the food, that we need food. But he says no, it is that Swami Dayanandji taught him that it is not the power of food. The nourishment is from the power of God. Because body, when prana is not there, when the power of God is not there, it will not do. The eyes will remain, the body, every part will remain, but they will not function. Though the food is there, even a person who has eaten immediately food and breathe his last, then also he is not able to function his body. But food is there in the body, but it is just the power of God is gone out. The prana is gone out from the body. So he says that he who has created every form of nourishment is the power of the God. The God who has created every form of nourishment. He who has bestowed appetite will certainly see that his devotee is sustained. So he says that it is not that a person who's not eating, will not sustain. God will always see that his devotee, if you are a true devotee, God will always see that you sustain. Do not imagine that rice maintains you or that money or men will support you. Could they aid if Lord withdraws your life breath? They said, we think that, okay, money will help. Men around us are, our relatives are there, people around are there, rice, food, whatever is there, that supports us. He says, no. If the Lord withdraws your life breath, the prana goes out from the body, then we are just indirect instruments, he says, and they are his indirect instruments. It is just that it is by any skill of yours that food digests in your stomach. Use the sword of your discrimination, he says. Don't have that discrimination that, okay, this is God's power and this is food power. Have that discrimination in your mind. Cut through the chain of agency and perceive the single cause. That is what Dayanandji taught him. And in this, though there were all the disciples who never used to, they never used to like Mukunda meditating and they working. So he says that I found his incisive words entering deep into my marrow, as if it has gone into his bone marrow. It has gone into his spine. That is how those words worked for him. And he took deeply in his life all that. From that time onwards, he always took those words very, very seriously, as if they have gone into his spine. So later, what happens is that now he says that in how many strange cities in later life he has gone. After all this, whatever he has learned, he has gone to so many strange cities. When he was sent to West by his guru, Swami Yukteswarji, that time he didn't know any city around. So he says later part of it, all this learning which I had learned from Swami Dayanandji helped him, because there were occasions arise to prove that where that it's God's power that will sustain. It was not the food that will sustain, because there were many times he didn't had money. There were many times that days and days he had to just fast. So he says whatever learnings he had in that Banaras hermitage helped him in the later part of his life when he went around in US and in many parts of the other cities. He says that Now he was also, from Calcutta. He remembers the amulet which his mother had given, and he was still searching for it because it had disappeared. So his mind was sometimes into it that where he will find it. It was talismanic, so maybe it comes back again. So he had that in mind, but so that was going behind his in subconscious mind. So later, what happens is that this all his Dayananji's followers, the other Swami Dayananji's other followers were there. They were their behavior was getting worse with Mukunda because of the work they were doing, and he was meditating sometimes, or he was busy in the office and many other work. So he says that he was also getting torn by spiritual anguish. There were times where he felt torn that what to do. I'm here. I've left my home to in seeking spirituality, and here, if I don't do that, then I am not here to run errands of the organization here. So sometimes he used to tear himself apart. You know how it happens with us, that whether we should do our work at home. There are so many our responsibilities towards our family and towards our, um, in many things in our life. And one side is spirituality. Sometimes people are torn apart. The same thing he also feels in his house. And he used to go to that attic and just meditate sometimes, resolve a prayer otherwise, just for a few seconds, sit there and pray to the mother that show me the merciful mother, show me, um, send my guru to me. I want to meet my guru. Teach me thyself through visions, or through a guru sent by thee. He used to pray like that. Teach me thyself, give me vision that, or you send the guru through you. So that was a prayer he used to say. And then one day, what happens is that they had to some festive occasion were there, and he had to go to the market to buy some provisions, purchases, many other purchases from the market in Banaras. So one of the disciples of Swami Dayanandji, whose name was Habu, and both of them, they go to the market, Bengali section of the Banaras. There is one place where all the Bengali kind of whatever food requirements are there, provisions, etc., vegetables, etc. That all types are in one place in the Banaras. So he says that both of them goes there, and he has that seeking mind. He is praying within that I want to meet my guru, and uh, so he's described, in this, you can, once you read, you find the description of the market, how he's talking about. So he goes to them through the market, and all of a sudden, in the lane where they were, Banaras has lot of, very narrow lane markets are there, hardly uh, 5 feet, 6 feet uh, wide, which is the widest of all. Otherwise, 3 feet, 4 feet lanes are also there. So that is an ancient city where very, very narrow lanes are there. Market is also narrow. So he sees a Christ-like man in the, brownish ochre robe, a Swami ji standing motionless at the end of the road. So if he is this side, he is seeing end of the road when Swamiji is standing with the ochre robe. And he feels that he is very familiar face. He says that he felt this person, and he is very familiar, and with a very hungry gaze he is trying, Mukunda is seeing that person, who is standing at that very, very divine light, is coming, as he's saying, Christ like man, na? Very humble, very, some people are there, na? The aura is so deep, so much attracted, so much magnetic. Same kind of person he was able to see on the road. So he's thinking that I'm confusing, he in his mind is saying, oh, I'm just, it is, I'm dreaming, I'm just seeing something as a dream. It's not true. Somebody is not there. He feels he's like a guru, but he feels, no, I'm dreaming. And then he walks on, keeps doing his work. But after 10 minutes, his leg become completely numb. He's not able to move. He's stuck. His feet are stuck on the, as if, it is glued on that place. So he says that as though turned to stone. My feet has become turned to stone, and I'm unable to carry them further. So he said, with very, very, laboriously, I'm able to turn around and regain my feet's normalcy. And I could see again, I faced opposite direction. Again, the curious weight oppressed me. When he again turned on the opposite side, and his back is turned towards that Christ-like man, then again his feet was getting numb and stone-like. He says that as I'm turning towards that man, my legs were becoming easy and I was able to move. As I'm turning, they were become stone-like. So the saint was magnetically drawing me to him. He says that as if that saint is following me. So and Habu was also seeing that what is happening. He was also observing and laughing because he could not understand. He could not understand all this, what was ever was happening. But Mukunda, the young Yogananji, was able to understand all that. So what Mukunda does is he leaves his bag there to Habu, gives them to him, and he moves towards that Christ-like man. And when he reaches there, few steps ahead, then he sees, and he is able to see his face clearly, that man, and he says, he calls out. First time seeing somebody, he met so many swamis, so many saints earlier, but he never accepted them as guru. But this person whom he's seeing, he calls out from his heart. He calls out Guru Deva. By seeing the divine face, he understands this is the guru I am seeking. He is the person whom I am seeking. And he says that it was none other than that of my 1,000 visions, which I had so many visions, thousand and thousand visions he had of his guru through his intuition, through his, dreams. And he says, this is the person who is my guru. And he says, Guru Deva. And then he just describes how he is looking. Swami Yukteswarji's face, no, having a beard, and all those who have seen his picture or read his books, you would have seen his face. So he's describing that face, and he says, "Oh." So he, after some time, Swami Yukteswaraji, he says, "Oh my own, you have come to me." Swamiji, he calls Mukunda and he says, "You are my own. You have come to me finally." And when his Guruji, Swami Yukteswarji, utters his words in Bengali, he utters, and his voice has tremendous joy. Swami Yukteswarji's voice has joy of finding him back. That he's always been there with Mukunda, with young Yogananji. It's just that they have met now, but they have been in so many lives together. He says, how many years I have waited for you? Swami Yukteswarji tells Yogananji, how many years I have waited for you. And this was the time where first time Yogananji meets his guru. He says that we entered into the oneness of silence. There was just silence, and we were in complete oneness with each other. Words seemed like relentless superfluities. Then words were not required between both of them, as if both were seeking each other. And this was the time where he says that dramatic time, past, present, and future are its cycling scenes. Everything in within seconds, everything, as if like a movie flashed between both of them. And this was not the first son to find me at the holy feet. He says, so many like me, so many other bright sons have been there at his holy feet who have found him as Guru Sri Yukteswaraji. And my hand in his own. So Guruji takes his young Mukunda's hand in his hand, and he says that he takes him to his residence, a temporary residence, because Swami Yukteswaraji had come to meet his mother in Banaras. Though he did not stay in Banaras, he used to stay in Sri Rampur in Odisha. So he takes Mukunda to his residence in Rana Mahal. Place is there. One section of Banaras, a place is called Rana Mahal. That is the place he was staying, and they go there, spend some time together, eating mangoes, and and Mukunda is just seeing his face. He's just seeing his guru all the time as they are talking to each other. And Yukteswarji is able to he knows everything, whatever is going in subconscious mind and in his mind right away in Yogananji's mind. And he says that I will give you, just to test him, he says, I will give you my hermitages and all I possess. Swami Shri Yukteswarji says. So Yogananji says, I don't need. I said, I have not come here for that. No, those are your treasures, and troves I am after. I'm not there. These are your treasures. I do not need them. So he says that I will give you unconditional love. Swami Shri Yukteswarji says. When he says that, it is like precious words for Yogananji that he will give him unconditional love. So Guru is telling like that to disciple. What more somebody will want, right? So he says, Swami Yukteswarji says that I will give you unconditional words. So I had another. So he says that as he was telling this, it was silence, and then after that, complete silence was there, as if it became his oceanic heart. Yeah. And then after some time, he says, will you give me the same unconditional love to Mukunda? He says. So, and he's gazing like a child, in Mukunda's face and says, will you give me the same unconditional love? Mukunda says, I will love you eternally, Gurudeva. And that is time Yogananji tells, I will love you eternally. So then the meaning of love, the true love, Swami Shri Yukteswarji tells Yogananji. I'll take just 5 minutes more. So he says that ordinary love is selfish, darkly rooted in desires. So ordinary love is there, which is very selfish. And it is always rooted in desires and satisfaction, that I will get satisfaction if I get that. So that is ordinary love, and it is selfish love. Divine love is without condition, without boundary, without change. It will not change. Whatever happens, if situation changes, whether you get something or not, it will not change. It is without boundaries and without condition. So he says the flux of the human heart is gone forever as a transfixion touch of pure love. So we have to have that pure love who has sipped that heart, pure love can only understand. They say, if you ever find me falling. So Swami Yukteswarji, what he's telling Mukunda, and he did it afterwards, he says, if you ever find me falling from the state of God realization, a guru telling to a disciple that if you see me falling from the state of God realization, please promise to put my head on your lap. That time, promise that you put my head on your lap and help me to bring me back to the cosmic beloved, and where we both will worship. And that is the trust Guru had in his disciple, that if I also fall, my disciple will bring me back to the cosmic beloved. So that kind of relationship both Swami Shri Yukteswarji and Yoganandji had with each other, a true guru-disciple relationship. So he says that after some time, he says that he understands that he's thinking about that silver amulet which mother had given. He says, don't think about it. Your work is done, and therefore it is gone. Don't worry. It is everything, whatever that had to do that amulet has done and then has disappeared. Don't worry. And when he said that, Mukunda, because he just met his guru, so he says that as if his guru had got the reflection of his whole life. Guru did not need to be told anything about him. He already knew everything about Mukunda's life. It appeared to Mukunda like that my guru knows me so well. He knows what is going in my mind, what has happened in my life, what is going on. Everything my guru knows without me telling. So he said, the living reality of your presence, Master, is joy beyond any symbol. It is the time. So then what happens is he also know what is happening in the hermitage in Banaras also, without Mukunda telling anything about that hermitage. But Swami Shri Yukteswarji knew everything. He says to him, it is a time for change. In as much as you are unhappy situated in that hermitage, he knew that Yogananji Mukunda is not happy in that hermitage. He says it's time for change. And then he says that why don't you go back to Calcutta? Why do you exclude your relatives from your love, from humanity? So why? So now, when Guru tells him, when Swami Yukteswara is telling Mukunda to go back to Calcutta, but he is hesitant. He doesn't want to go to Calcutta to his home. Why? Because Mukunda brother Ananta was there. He always felt that, oh, let him go. He used to mock him like, he's a young bird. Let him fly to the metaphysical sky, and he will come tirelessly one day, one back. He will come. So because of that, Mukunda did not want to go back to his home. But now, when Swami Yukteswarji reads his mind, he says that, don't worry, you will return in 4 weeks. You go to your home, and I am promising you will return and you'll come to me in 4 weeks. So Mukunda, when he hears that, and he says that still his heart is not ready to go back to his home because of Ananta, his brother's mocking. So he says that that is why it is not an eternal reflection, because now I told you about that I love you eternally, and that is why you are disregarding my request. So he says that the next time we will meet, you will have a reawaken in my interest. He says that if you are now itself you are disregarding my request, because I told you I will eternally love you. But now when we will meet next time, you have to reawaken this interest in me that I eternally love you, because now itself I want a disciple. He says that there must be complete surrender of by obedience to my strict training. He says that whatever from now, if you want that I should be your guru, then I want a complete surrender of obedience. You should obey to completely surrender, that whatever is being told to you, that is a strict training under me that will happen. So they remain silent, and after that, he returns home and returns to the hermitage, takes the from Guruji's, and he meets, and then he decides to go to Calcutta. When he goes, then now he has returned all his money, because Dayanandji told him not to take money. He didn't have money to go to Calcutta. But then he takes his help of his friend Jitendra, and he goes back to Calcutta. And then we will see after 4 weeks, as his Guruji has told, whether he goes to Sri Rampur. And then he asks they have talked so while, so much. And then he in between, he asked his this Guruji that, okay, may I know your name? Because he had flashes of his uh, glimpses of his face, many times, thousand times in his dreams, in his intuition, and many times. But he never knew the name of his guru. So he asked him that, may I know your name and where do you stay? Then Guruji tells him, Swami Shivtir, my name is Yukteswar Giri, and I stay in Sri Rampur. And then he tells so then that is how they knew each other, and that is how Swami Yukteswaraji and Yogananji meets first time in Banaras. So then he realizes that I am in Calcutta, and Sri Rampur is just hardly not even 12 kilometers. I never met my guru, and we have met in Banaras. All the way from Calcutta, we both have come and met in Banaras. That realization comes to him. So this is how it happens to each one of us, right? We can relate so many things, so many things. Like I related that I came all the way for meditation, now in Bangalore, and met first Patriji, and now I am uh, with Yogda Satsang, my Guruji Yogananji. So it is like how divine plan is, we don't know where we will meet our Guru. And it happened so beautifully in his life. He learned so much, and even while his life was difficult in the hermitage in Banaras, but there was something which he had to learn, which helped him in the later years, um, while he was in his journey of his life's mission. So thank you so much, Masters. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Mahavatar Foundation. Deep, deep gratitude to you and to all the friends who are here with us. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for the wisdom. So today, really, it was a nice session, madam, because Mukund was all his life waiting for his guru. and it happened in this class.
Now
So
he
anyway,
passed high school without studying,
yes,
So
yeah. He
meditation
went to many
helps
saints
in
and many
everything.
yogis across India, but he didn't get that feeling to master
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
So it
And
happened.
finally he passed high school without studying, and how Masters Divine helped him in all the way.
Nice.
Yes.
Any other masters want to respond? You can raise your hand.
Yeah. If anybody can relate something from these life stories of Yogananji, please share.
You can close the session. Thank
Yes.
you, masters. Let's thank Universe and Mahavatar Foundation for giving us this platform to learn wisdom from many masters. And let's thank all the masters who have attended the session. Thank you all. Please don't miss the session tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the part continuing to this session. See you all tomorrow.